Hey, what's up guys, this is Prabpreet and today we're going to be going over how you can shoot the wedding, a Punjabi wedding. So today I want to go over a couple things. The last videos I've covered engagements, manya, jago, and the bride groom prep in the mornings. So I've covered all those things for you, so do check them out whenever you do have the time. So especially for if you're just shooting weddings and you want to know how to shoot Punjabi wedding, the big wedding day. I've done part 1 of that already, which is actually the part 4 I believe for this whole series. So today I want to go over a couple things with you guys, how to shoot Punjabi weddings part 2, the big day, the wedding day. So in the last video we covered up to the setup point, so where you have the setup going on. So basically I want to talk about starting from the setup. Let's say that the breakfast part is done and you're setting up here. So in the setup time, what you want to do is you want to set up lights, tripod stands, monopod stands for your gimbal, get your gimbal ready so it's stabilized, etc. So it's ready to go. You want to make sure that all your gear is basically ready to shoot, because after this whole breakfast thing, things are going to happen really fast, and before you know it, the wedding is complete, you're leaving. So to figure this whole thing out, I kind of want to talk about where to place your lights. So you want to place lights on 2 different sides. So one on the girl's side and the one on the guy's side where they're seated, right? So in between you have Guru Maharaj, and on the both sides you want to have some sort of lighting that's set up. And then so basically you have light set up, you have your tripod, put your camera on there, shoot. So that person is basically recording continuous video, and you'll have one person on a gimbal, one person on a monopod if you don't have 2 separate people on gimbal and a monopod. So those 2 jobs can be filled by just one person. You don't actually need 2 persons. I'll kind of explain how everything works. The first thing that's going to happen is all the guests are starting to come in, where you are actually going to be recording video with the continuous video camera. You might have another camera that's open at the time, so put it on another tripod, get 2 angles of people coming in, matha taking, and just sitting down. You kind of want to just record that, and then the groom will come with all his family, right? So he comes in, and then this is one of the times where you need your gimbal, so have your gimbal ready, go up, follow him in, get some nice shots, get some close-up shots, and then halfway through just get out of the way so the continuous video person can shoot, the photographer can get photos, so you're out of the way and everything is clear, and you kind of got your shot. And then once they're done, they're closing into Guru Sahib, you follow them and get some back shots. This kind of really makes up a really good shot for the highlight video, so do really recommend following this kind of technique. And then you place down your gimbal, and then you start getting some shots with a monopod with a low aperture lens, so get some close-ups of the groom sitting down and stuff like that. So once all this is settled, you'll basically have the bride coming in. You kind of follow the same thing as the groom, where you follow her in and then you stand out around halfway, so photographer and videographer who's back there, they can get their shots so you're not in their shots. And then you basically follow them in, and then they matha take and they sit down. She's going to sit down next to the groom. So before everything starts, there is going to be an Ardaas, which is usually just for the groom, the bride, and their parents, and then the Ardaasi person. So this is a really nice way to get some really creative shots, because no one else is standing up except the most important people. You kind of want to cover the groom's parents and the bride's parents and the groom and the bride, so you get their shots. They're going to be really isolated, so this is your chance to get some really creative shots with the monopod and just get some really bokalicious shots of them, because they're super isolated, no one else is standing up, and this is probably the only time where the photographer is also getting like the banger shots of this whole wedding. So once that's over, they're basically going to sit down. There's a Palla Ceremony where the cloth that's hanging off of the groom is going to be handed towards the bride. She's going to hold it. The bride's dad is going to come in and do that, so make sure you have close-ups of that. Gimbal shots are not required. Have the continuous video person just shoot wide video of whatever's going on, and you can shoot a close-up of her dad grabbing the palla and handing it to her, etc. So really cool shots you can get there, and sometimes these are emotional moments for the bride and her father. So those really make the cut in the highlight video. And that's like, if you're a cinematographer, this is kind of your shot. Do get it. So once this is over, you basically have the wedding that's going to start. At this point, there's 4 lama in a Punjabi Sikh wedding, right? Sikh wedding, we have 4 lama. So you have basically 4 chances of getting the best shots for your highlights. Continuous video person is going to record continuous without, you know, any interruptions. So you're good to go. You have a backup video. You don't have to worry about, you know, missing one lam. Full video, it's going to be there. For someone who wants to be creative, I usually like to split up 4 into 2 first. So 2 lama are going to be shot on a gimbal and 2 are going to be shot on a monopod close-up shot, like 85 millimeter, 105 millimeter, etc. So, you know, you can get really close up of everything that's going on artistically, and then you can get some motion shots as well. So for the gimbal, I would like to go with first 2, you know, lama, just get that over with. So the first 2 lama, coordinate with the other photographer and cinematographers too. So, you know, they're out of your shots. You don't want them in your shots, ruining your shots. So just get them away. Tell them that you're going to be following the couple, the first one. So you're going to be in front of them, and you're basically going to be, you know, recording them walking towards you, and you're going to be, you know, kind of just following them, recording them. And the second lam, I would say go behind them. So, you know, have a back shot of them. So you kind of just have like a 360 view at the end of the whole Anand Kaaraj ceremony. So you're recording from the back, you're following them. And then the third lam, you pick up your high depth of field lens and your camera, put it on a monopod. So you're running around getting those shots. Get a shot from like the back of Guru Maharaj, and then of like them getting up and, you know, walking, and then from the side, etc. Get a shot of them walking behind Guru Sahib. So you go like right in front of Guru Sahib, and then at that point you're recording them going back. That's a really cool shot that you can have, especially if there's a window behind Guru Sahib. That also makes like a really cool silhouette kind of look, and, you know, just to create something creative at this moment. So you have that, and then, you know, they're gonna sit down. You have 2 lama to, you know, perfect your skill in this and get your best shots. Coordinate with the photographers and cinematographers. I can't focus this enough because this is really important. You don't want to get in each other's shots. It's just gonna like ruin the whole team's chemistry, etc. So if your team chemistry is good, this usually works out really nice. I have seen people use, you know, radios, etc. So they're talking to each other like, hey, I'm gonna be in the shot. Hey, you're in my shot. Sit down. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. So whatever works for you or your team. It really works out well if your whole team is there and no one else is shooting the wedding. So yeah, so this is about it, and then there will be some final Ardaas. While this whole thing is going on, get some shots of the Kirtanis. You know, you do have some backup footage. If you have an extra camera, put it on them. It really works out nice because at this point, like, you're actually recording the Kirtan, and if anything goes wrong and you have some black moments while recording, you can put that in the background and it works out for you. And while everything's going on, do make sure to cover the guests here and there, cover their reactions, get some shots of their parents and immediate families, so you have something in the edit. So yeah, that's about it. That happens. Last Ardaas happens. Get some shots again of everyone. Get some gimbal shots with a really wide lens, just moving through the sangat, moving through, you know, the aisle, the main aisle, etc., like that. So those are really cool shots. You can obviously play around, and yeah, that's literally about it. And then they might get a soropa, like another cloth from the committee as well. So once that's done, literally they'll get prasad, the deg, the serving, whatever you want to call it. They get that, and then they're done there. At that point, you were kind of just packing up, unless they have shaguns where family members come and put money in their laps. I don't know what the right word for that is, but once that's over, I think this is like this at this point, like, you don't need to record with a gimbal or a monopod. Continuous video is fine. Continuous video shooting of whatever's going on. You know, just shoot that with one angle or two angles, get a close up if you really need to. You don't actually need to, so just get some safe footage, and that's about it. Once that's over, they're going to walk out to lunch and they're going to eat. You can send 2 people or 1 person to shoot photos, 1 person to shoot video there. Get some shots of them eating. And again, if the shaguns are happening in the langar hall or the hall, the venue, or whatever it is, you want to have someone shooting that there. Once that's over, it's pretty simple. You're basically going to chill back and, eat. Like one person can eat or the other person can pack up, so all the gear does need to be packed up. Don't go away from it, because at times there are going to be people who aren't trusted and they'll try to steal your stuff. So have someone there watching your stuff. I say pack it up before you actually go and eat. After this whole thing, after lunch is over, they're basically going to expect some sort of photo shoot. So you go and take photos of the couple, and this is the time where photographers taking photos, you can get some really good b-roll shots of the couple just like walking, holding each other's hand, etc., like that. Just some creative shots, so some b-roll that you might use in the beginning, middle, or the end of the whole film. Yeah, this is about it. And then it'll be time for the Doli, where it's usually really packed. So like once the bride and the groom, they're going to arrive at the house, and the girl is gonna go in. It's kind of like a weird cultural thing that happens, because they're already married, but the guy's gonna come and try to like get her, and he's gonna go. So in the beginning, when he's walking in, the bride's sisters aren't gonna let him in without him giving some money to them. So at this point, you have one person on a gimbal or a monopod using a wide lens, so they're covering the whole thing. This is usually enough. If you have two people, you can have monopods usually work really nice here, because you have to get tall. Everyone's standing on the doors. As you can see, like a doorway, you have people on both sides trying to get in, and the other person like trying to stop the groom from getting in. It's a really funny kind of a type of moment here, so emotions do matter, but you can't get too complicated with the recording processes, and you basically need to record this easily. Like just record a wide lens, both sides, cover both sides if you can. Otherwise, just have one person just recording both sides, just pan back and forth. And audio really is important here as well, so that's why I said use a monopod, so you can have on camera microphone that's recording the audio pretty nicely. Have maybe a dead cat on top, so if there is wind, you're able to listen into the conversations that they're having. Yeah, so this is it. Then they walk in, and he's basically going to there's some more like cultural stuff, have continuous video, and then they're basically going to walk out together of the house. And then this is a really emotional time, because the bride is leaving her father, her family, etc. So she's going to be crying. One person could be recording the continuous video, the other person could get some gimbal shots or some close-up shots with a monopod, just so that like while she's walking out, you can use the gimbal and maybe even go close up with the gimbal, get some close-ups of her face, because she might be crying. She probably will be crying. And she sits into the car, and then she goes away. So and then the last part of this whole thing is Pani Warna ceremony at the groom's house, where they're basically going to be entering into the house, and the groom's mother is going to bless the couple while they're coming in. So this basically is it. This is a whole wedding day. It goes from like 6 a.m. sometimes to like 10 p.m. depending on where the wedding is, where the houses are. So it can be long. Be patient. Take care of yourself. Eat, drink water. Don't carry too much stuff. Don't work too hard. Don't try to overcomplicate things, because you are going to be missing shots if you do so. And this basically wraps up the whole wedding day. Next video will be on receptions. That'll be tomorrow or whenever I get to shoot next week probably. So yeah, if you guys like this video, please make sure to like it, share, and subscribe. And if you're learning how to shoot weddings, if you are in the Bay Area, you want to link up with me and you want to shoot some weddings with me, I'm definitely down. I'm in the Bay Area, California. So if you want to shoot weddings, let's get together. Let's shoot weddings. If you want to learn, if you want to mentor that can teach you things and kind of help your business up, do hit me up. I'm always open to teaching other people, because my friend, I don't know if you've seen my older videos, but if you haven't checked them out, my friend actually helped me become a cinematographer, and he helped my business kind of be created. So if I can do that for someone else, I would definitely love to do that. That's kind of the whole goal of me creating these videos and teaching you guys these things. I know they're not that detailed, and learning them on hand, on set, is a completely different animal. So I know it's different, but if you guys can get at least 20% down from me teaching you guys or telling you guys about these things. Maybe you can learn something, maybe you can create something better for yourself. And when you are shooting on the set, you don't have to go through a lot of the problems that I did as an initial photographer and cinematographer. So this is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, again, please like it, subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.